And then we go to the next presenters, Afif Eka Rahma Setianto. Yeah, Afif Eka Rahma Setianto will present his research entitled Dipsys lutescence, a brief review on its pharmacological activity and potency as remediation agent. Okay, Afif, the
Yes.
time is yours.
Okay, thank you for moderator. Good afternoon and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will discuss about one output for my thesis degree. So this is a review entitled Digitalization, a brief review on its pharmacological activity and its potency as a phytoremediation agent. Okay, so the introduction from my review. So we know that plants are fundamental for human life due to their beneficial attribute for humans' lives in various aspects. And Zhang et al. 2020 proposed to classify into 5 categories. These are medicine, plant germplasm, food, industrial use, and landscaping. So according to the medicinal herb, plants' medicinal property is related to the production of the secondary metabolites by the plants. So secondary metabolites are defined as organic compounds synthesized in small amount and not involve normal plant physiological process. And secondary metabolites, the examples are alkaloids, flavonoids, and terpenes. It's like that's the 3 large of secondary metabolites groups. And from the secondary metabolites, it demonstrating that there are various biological activities which is beneficial for humans, such as anti-diabetic, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and others. And according to landscaping purpose, so Zhang et al. Divide into two subcategories. These are ornamental and antipollutant. So ornamental plants is defined as grown plant for aesthetic appearance, actually, but not for aesthetic appearance, but for its biological activities, for the photosynthesis to absorb carbon dioxide and emit oxygen. And in addition to photosynthesis process, it also can absorb various pollutants which caused by phytoremediation. So phytoremediation has advantages such as efficient, eco-friendly, and cost-effective. And from various plants, I choose diffusal or a yellow palm. It is popular as ornamental plant. Is according to palms or Ericaceae family. It's suitable both indoor and outdoor condition. However, previous studies revealed that this palm is potential for its biological activities and potency for anti-pollutant like that. So the purpose from this review is consolidates current knowledge on dilutescence, addressing its botanical description and classification, the spectrum of its reported biological activities, and its capacity to function as an phytoremediation agent. So let me describe this plant. So actually, and the name Dipsys lutescens. Lutescens is defined as a yellow color. It means a yellow color according to the trunk and grounds of color from this plant like that. And this plant is clustered multiple stem and perennial palms and the height approximately 6 to 12 meters its height. The leaves is greenish yellow in color, pinnate arrangement, and 40 to 60 leaflets in a rachis. Yes, you can see that there are many leaflets in a rachis like that. And the flower is small and yellow in color and appeared in fluorescence. As well as the fruit is also appeared in the fluorescence and oblong in shape and yellow to purple to black in color from immature to mature. So names and classification. So the common name for of dilutescence is yellow palm, golden cane palm, and yellow butterfly palm. And in bahasa Indonesia we said we call as palm kuning like that. So this is the detail of the classification. So it according to family Ericaceae or Palmae, and the name not only dipsyltescent, but it also has a synonym. The popular is Chrysalidocarpus lutescens according to Catalog of Life, the database taxonomical. Okay, so let me introduce the pharmacological properties. So there are five pharmacological activities according to dilutescence extracts. So the first is antibacterial. So the leaf extract is able to inhibit Escherichia coli and Vibrio cholerae, which is the Escherichia coli with the higher inhibition zone from Akshaya et al. 2022. And the second is gastroprotective. So the leaf ethanolic and aqueous extract able to reduce the ulceration severity from the Vistagats, and the aqueous extract was the best treatment like that. And the third is hepatoprotective. So the galactosamine administration caused abnormal liver function, and leaf ethanolic extract from dilutation able uh, to make the normal liver function again like that. And the fourth is anti-obesity. So the leaf ethanolic extract was able to suppress fat absorption by suppress lipase activity and triglyceride absorption, and suppress fat accumulation by inhibit triglyceride accumulation. And antioxidant. So Kumar et al. Observed the fruit aqueous and methanolic extract with methanolic extract was higher than the aqueous. Okay, so the pharmacological activities, it can be separated from the phytoconstituents. So the ergonomy et al. Reported that extract leaves, ethanolic extract leaves, it contains 10 compounds. These are 8 compounds flavonoids and 2 compounds of phenolic acids. And according to fruit phytoconstituent, this is the assumption flavonoids and phenolics due to the research to fruit phytochemical screening is absent from for dilutescence. This is my assumption from previous studies using different species like date palm, which reported that date palm fruit is contain flavonoids and phenolics like that. And according to the IC50 and phytochemical content, Kumar et al. Not only observe the antioxidant, but also measure the phenolic content and IC50. So the methanolic extract has a higher phenolic content and lower IC50, while aqueous extract has lower phenolic content and higher IC50, while lower IC50 has higher greater biological activity, which is methanolic extract with more potential, which is it also same as the antioxidant with higher in methanolic extract than aqueous extract. So and air remediation agent. So generally, dilution able to absorb various air pollutants. However, the efficiency is maybe is less efficient than if compared with other species like that. But however, this plant is efficient to absorb carbon dioxide or CO2. But for absorbing lead or VOC or particulate matter and formaldehyde is not very efficient. However, and different result like the trisubstantan and bergavan on VOC, I will discuss in later slide. Okay, so the capacity of remediation, phytoremediation ban is influenced by leaf factors. Like the first is size. So Wirapodi et al. 2018a is mentioned that particulate matter was most effective captured by Juniperus chinensis, whereas we can see that Juniperus chinensis is have needle leaves, which is more, there are more particulate matter which captured by the leaves rather than big leaves like that. And the second is surface feature. So according to particulate matter, so particulate matter are covered more with existence by the trichome and epicuticular wax, which is the surface feature from the leaves. And the third is shape. The shape is you can see that leaf area has an inverse relationship with stomata density, while stomata density has a positive relationship with the stomatal conductance. So it could be as hypothesized that the small leaf has higher quantities for absorb pollutants, like that due to the stomatal conductance is higher. So according to
Sorry, uh, 2 minutes left. Yeah.
Okay, so according to the volatile organic compounds or VOC removal, so I mentioned before that different result by Bhargava mentioned that this plan is effective, but the substance mentioned that it is not able to remove due to there are factors affecting by different research. Maybe the first is plant age, the second is growing medium, third is maintenance, and the fourth microclimate condition, which is maybe in the different research is different this condition, so it can be affecting the result is like that. So actually plants also influenced by the air pollutant. So there is index for air pollutant tolerance index or APTI. It used to measure the tolerance level of plants to air pollutants due to plants um, is by pollutants is it can be altered by the morphological, physiological, and biochemical processes. So the conclusion from my presentation is the biological activity of the plant has been demonstrated through empirical evidence such as antioxidant, anti-obesity, antibacterial, hepatoprotective, and gastroprotective. This plant has the capacity to eliminate various air pollutants including formaldehyde, lead, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, particulate matter, and volatile organic compound. Future research about clinical investigation should investigate the health benefits of various compounds as well for air filter remediation to determine its capacity on various air pollutants. Okay, this is the references I used. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Afif, for your presentation. And then now is the discussion session. To the three presenters, Atalah Tri, and then Faradila, and Afif Eka Rahma. So if you have any question toward the material that have been presented before, please you can raise your hand